Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a video all about power. Now, as you know, I spend quite a bit of time out in the woods. I spend time in nature making films that I show you all about the simpler life, how to do things perhaps the old-fashioned way. Obviously the ironic thing is, to do that, to get that information out to you, requires quite a bit of technology, and most of that technology seems to run on electricity. Now that electricity is something we are all increasingly dependent on, whether it's for entertainment, whether it's for lighting, whether it's for heating, whether it's for storing food, whether it's for communication. Electricity is a major part of all of our lives, and it's something we can't really get away from. But what happens if suddenly that power is not there? If perhaps the grid goes down temporarily, or perhaps you're away from the grid for a few days and you still need to power up those things because perhaps you're like me, you need to work out in the woods, you still got to have the communications there to run your business, etc. What do you do then? So recently I was contacted by a company called EcoFlow, and they work on power systems, power banks, power supplies, primarily for the off-grid market. And what they wanted to know was, would I be interested in testing out one of these? And this is their EcoFlow River 2 power bank. So my first thought was, well, do I actually have a need for a power bank? Well, certainly while I'm working, if I'm away for more than a few days, what I've tended to do over the last few years is I rely on the car. What I tend to do is I can plug my mobile phone in there, and that will keep it topped up. For everything else, well, it gets a little bit complex. You have to make sure that I charge everything before I leave home. If I've got the kids along as well, the same thing applies. We tend to use the car for charging things like tablets and those types of things. And it's kind of worked. I also carry obviously a little small power bank too, but again, that's quite limited in what it can deliver. And also, as I said, it's really only your phones and your tablets. Things like camera batteries, lighting units, torches, those sorts of things, well, that requires a little bit more power, and that's where I thought, well, perhaps a power bank might be a good idea. Also, of course, it's all over the news that we are going to be getting power cuts. Now, touch wood, we haven't had any in my local area as yet, but whether it's scaremongering or not, I don't know. But there is always that possibility of the power going down. You still need to operate normally and live your everyday life. You still need to keep food cold. You still need to be able to have lighting. You still need to have the ability to have perhaps radios going so that you can stay in touch with the rest of the world, so that you know what is happening. So all of these things made me think that actually one of these power banks might be a really good idea. So this is the River 2 from EcoFlow. It is a fairly lightweight and portable power bank. It charges up from the mains in about an hour, which is pretty fast from what I can gather. The mains isn't your only charging option. Turning it round onto the back, you also have this little yellow port on the back here, and that means you can charge up from a vehicle on a standard 12 volt, one of the little vehicle plug-ins. So you could keep it in the back of your vehicle just ticking over, so you've always got that power there ready. You've also got your mains over on here, and over on there as well you've also got the ability to be able to charge one of these up from a solar panel, and EcoFlow do solar panels that will fit this unit. Over on the front you've got your outputs, so I've got a standard 3-pin plug. I've also got a couple of USB-A's and a USB-C in the middle, and then over on this side again it's a 12-volt output. So that will take all those little gadgets that you can run from your vehicle, but you can run it from here and it will be that much quicker. So the battery inside is a lithium ion battery that's very, very good quality. As I said, EcoFlow seems to be very, very popular within the off-grid community, and they're quite a trusted brand. As far as power goes, it's a 300 watt output, but it also has a boost system on it which can boost it up to 600, so it will power most devices. Possibly not your electric kettle or your hairdryer, but pretty much everything else. Certainly things like fridges, freezers, those types of things can all be run off it. Now it's got a digital screen on the front, and that gives you quite a lot of information. It tells you, number one, how many hours charge it will actually give you. So as soon as you plug something in, that time will adjust depending on how much charge it's drawing from the power bank. What you've also got on there is not only the output, how much is going out and how much time is coming in, but if you are topping it up, if you are charging it either via solar or via your vehicle, it's telling you what charge is going into it too. As far as how long will it charge for, well, I guess it depends on what you're actually charging, because some appliances, things like phones etc., don't draw a lot of charge. Other items certainly will. I use it, I say, for charging other batteries, so things like my camera batteries, my torches etc., and I found it actually works really, really well, and I can get an awful lot of charges out of it before I have to recharge it. So from that point of view, it's really, really good. Now, something else that I thought was quite neat with these is you can actually run all of this lot from your phone, because there is an app, and that app, if you tap on it, tells you all sorts of things about your phone. It connects via Bluetooth, or you can run it via a Wi-Fi network, and that gives you access to all the controls on that. It also tells you how much power is, what your input, what your output is, all from the app. So really, really good, very simple to use interface. Now obviously a little bit of common sense is needed with all of these things. You're not going to use it next to a fire. You're not going to use it in really, really, really freezing temperatures. You need to protect it to a degree. But from what I've seen so far, it does seem pretty robust. And certainly for out in the field, it doesn't take up a great deal in the way of space, as you can see. And it's not particularly heavy. My kids can carry it. And yeah, everything is set up for you. Input is very simple. Output, very, very simple for a wide range of devices. The information shown on the panel there, again, it's really, really well set up for outdoor usage. It's not particularly cheap. Well, I say it's not particularly cheap. I don't know really how much these things go for. I've seen a few people using, I think it's Jackery ones. This one, which is the smallest one in their series, is, I think I had a look, it's about £260, £270, depending where you get it from. But if you spend an awful lot of time out of doors, one of these does make a lot of sense, particularly if you're working outdoors. Certainly if I'm out, I need to keep camera batteries topped up. I also need to stay in touch with the outside world, and as long as my phone is charged and I've got my laptop, well, I'm pretty much self-sufficient. I can work out in the field, I can upload film, photos, etc. I can then do all my editing actually while I'm out there, so it does make a lot of sense. What it also allows me to do is run that laptop so that I can keep up to date on my emails and all of those sorts of things. And even if you're not using this in the field, it does kind of make sense to have one at home for that just in case. If the lights do go out, as I said, we're all very, very dependent on electricity. I know in my home we have a fire so we can keep ourselves warm. I've got various things that are powered by gas canisters that are I've got plenty of gas canisters, so I've got lanterns, I've got the ability to cook. But for the tech side and for things like fridges, one of these makes an awful lot of sense. Now obviously I will put all the information and links in the description box down below so you can look it up for yourself. Yes, I think it's a worthwhile buy, and yeah, I'd highly recommend getting one. Having used one, I think it is a good bit of kit. If you enjoyed this video, then remember, hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. Coming up over the next couple of weeks, well, I think I've got another one of the more Army Surplus Bushcraft bargains, and I've also still got that second part of the sensible EDC video to put up. So keep watching the channel, keep watching the shop as well, because there's some things over on the Etsy shop that are going to be coming up very, very soon, so keep your eye on those. And I think that's everything. I've been Neil, and until next time, stay safe.